Good evening, everybody. We're live in we're live. We're air in five, four, three, two, one. That's it. We're on the air. Welcome, everybody. You can see we're having internet issues. We're freezing here. I don't know why, but we are. And I will try to work it out. Put our sign on. Nothing is working tonight. We got our going. We're trying. See, I'm freezing every other second. We'll work it out. Welcome, everybody. As always, we try to keep it family friendly in the chat. And we don't have our mic either. Hold on. Five. Just a little brighter. Contrast. Back down. There we go. And we're on the air. Live from the man cave. Tonight, it's Thursday, March 19th, 2026. Welcome to another live stream. What I'm going to do is reset this and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay? Don't go anywhere. We're freezing every 5 seconds. So hold on. Hello, everybody. Hope you're still here. We have people in the vertical feed as well as the horizontal feed. And now it is better. If for any reason we get kicked off, whether it be for internet reasons or whatever reason, I will try to come back in as soon as possible. As always, I tell everybody in the chat that this is a family-friendly channel. There's no racism, no nastiness of kind. If you cannot abide by those rules, you will be kicked out without question. So what I'm going to do is bring up our address and our URL. I see we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. And we will start off what we're going to be doing very, very soon in the chat. Tonight, we're talking about segment that I started. That was sugar-free diet, stuff like that, because my blood sugar was very, very high. I told them in 6 months, so end of June, July, I want to go to to back to her, and if my blood sugars come down considerably, I would not go on metformin or something else. And we have, then if you can keep it family friendly, we will kick you out. So we'll start with our first one here. So your name, my name is Stephen F. This is Garden Body. We have another gentleman that's saying hi. We have Bill. Subscribe to me, thank you. And then we have we don't like that. If you're kicked out right now. I'm sorry, we don't like that. Sorry. We delete that right away. There's no bad mouthing, no anything. We do not like that. Let's see what we have here. Bill, subscribe, and then this guy says what's going on, and then he's laughing. Okay, we can leave that. But if you curse, anything like that, we try to keep it family friendly in the chat. So what we're going to do is bring up our address, and I will tell you what we're doing. This is what we're doing. If our address comes up. Let's see. Does it come up? All right. Got to go into the other one and bring it up. With our address, we tell everybody that I'm trying to make a sticker board. And if I get that sticker board, I will put your sticker on it and shout you out on a Friday. Right now, we only have a few on it. So if you send me one of your stickers, if you have one, I will send you 2 large and 2 small of mine. I want to see if we can get the address up for you in the chat. So let's see if this works. There we go. Here's the address. Garden Aquatics. The channel is Garden Aquatics Remix. Or just send it to Garden Aquatics. 3280 Sunrise Highway, Box 174, Montauk, New York. 11793. If you send me your stickers, I will send you 2 large and 2 small stickers. If you do not have stickers and you want them in mine, just send me a self-addressed envelope to Garden Aquatics Remix, 3280 Sunrise Highway, Box 174, Montauk, New York. That's it. Now our channel is about gardening, aquatics, stuff like that. Remix is just about anything. What we do in the yard, what we do in the house, fish keeping, taking care of the pond, gardening, grass keeping, decorating for different various holidays. What the channel basically is about is gardening, gardening made simple. Okay? In the man cave, tonight we're going to talk about gardening. And if you go back and watch my 2 videos that I did about why we can't plant, check it out. The ground is too saturated. You had a landscaper come and put fertilizer, put lime down, put pre-emergent down, treated your lawn for the first time, and you live in this area, allegedly, 99% allegedly are not going to have an effect on your lawn. I suggest you go check out How to with Doc and check out the lawn care guide. And I'll try to put a link down to today's videos and Tuesday's videos with How to the Doc, How to with Doc. Go to his channel, link, and get the lawn care guide and watch a few of his videos. He's got stuff going on now. He put stuff down because he had a dry spell. We haven't had a dry spell since most of the 90% of the snow has melted. 95% of the snow has melted. We had rain the other day. We had rain. The ground is still moist. So if you put down fertilizer, put down a pre-emergent, put down anything, grass treatment of any kind, even seeds, it's not going to penetrate. We're down to 39, 35 degrees. We're going to go down below 30 degrees. And I haven't put up my greenhouse yet because the weather is too cold. I figure after tomorrow, spring comes in around 10, 15, allegedly, tomorrow. And Saturday was the first full day of spring. So, if the weather is still cold, we're having rain. Are you putting down a fertilizer or pre-emergent or any kind of lawn treatment in your garden? It's just going to wash away because the ground is saturated. It's not going to penetrate. You want it to go into the ground. That you put topsoil on the ground. It's not going to stay because the ground is moist and things are going to freeze. So I would check out the lawn care guide for cold season lawn and warm season lawn. We're not treating the lawn. We're just going to clean up the lawn. If you want to have your landscaper come and do a cleanup, and then next week treat the lawn where we have a dry spell, I would suggest it be done so you can water the plant. If you can't water the plant, you shouldn't have the landscaper come unless you want to go out there with a hose and have the that they do. Water with the hose, fine, because the stuff is going to penetrate. You got to water. All right. Allegedly, the landscapers want to get out there and get the work done. They shouldn't be thinking if we're in the snow removal business. They made a lot. They want to get out there and make the money for the season. You tell them that you allegedly tell them you don't want them to put fertilizer down or pre-emergent because in this area, because it just had a rain, ground saturated, it's not going to have any effect, and the ground's going to be cold. So anything's going to freeze or get frozen, and any precipitation we get is just going to be ineffective. So you control your landscaper, allegedly. Uh, you can tell him when to do it and when not to do it. He can't provide that, allegedly, then you shouldn't have it. You pay him. You can tell them what you want done and how you want it done. A lot of people just do it. You're just wasting that money. They're putting it down. You're paying it. It's a waste, allegedly, I think, because of the ground condition that it's in. It's not going to penetrate, and it's going to wash away into the street and the sewer system. Tell them you want to wait a week. You want to come and do a cleanup. You're going to have to leave, get the weeds, whatever. Do that, but not putting down any topsoil, lime, fertilizer, weed control, anything combined. And I know a couple of landscaper came to my area, and my uh, friend told them, neighbor on the block, told them, don't put anything down. Treat the lawn, do whatever you want to do, but don't put anything down because it's not going to stay. Even opening, thatching the lawn, it's not good because you're just ripping up that lawn. All right, I would wait allegedly until the weather is dry for a period of at least 3 to 4 days. And I explain that in my video. You'll see it where I put water in the flat standing in the greenhouse, which is uncovered. If that greenhouse is covered, it's still too cold for that because it goes to below 32 degrees. That plastic will disintegrate because it's too cold. So once the weather is and it stays above 35 degrees or 40 degrees, we can put that plastic on and start doing the greenhouse. We talk about garden, the gardening handbook. All right, what to do and everything, and they all tell you the same thing that I'm going to do with you as far as planting and stuff like that. That's what we're doing here. This is what Garden Aquatics Remix is all about. So, you know, it's gardening handbook, and gardening made simple. And also, this telling you about homesteading and what I do in my homestead. Having a garden, several gardens, planting vegetables and fruits and stuff for harvest for you is a homestead. And then preparing your house for on or off grid. And I will tell you in this area, if you're spending money allegedly on solar panels, and if you can't have the solar panels uh, provide electricity for you when your uh, electricity goes down, I wouldn't buy them. Because you're selling your electricity back to the what you're generating from your solar panel, you're sending it back to the power company. You should have a battery backup. And once your batteries are stored, Hey, Austin. I was doc. Okay. I want to welcome everybody. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our vertical as well as our horizontal, and we'll go over everything. So let's go back to our vertical feed here. And you will come up there. So now that you are coming up and you continue to come up as long as you're over 18 years of age and you keep it very friendly, I will let you come up into the chat eventually. If for any reason you flash or anything, we will delete the video right there. Okay? I do not want to get flashed or have a lewd photo put on my screen. That's not what this channel is about. I will not tolerate that at all. There's our URL. Come up into the studio if you are a member or I know you. I will not let anybody up unless they come up and continually come up to the chat. So that's it, and we'll pin this to the top of the page on both screens. So if you want to come up, you can. It's there on the page. And I was saying about homesteading, which we're talking about. Homesteading is growing your own vegetables, conserving water with a rain barrel, talking about preserved jams, jellies, and fruit and vegetables, making making food freeze dry. Plant flower, plant the flower. Keep bees. We won't keep bees. Making cheese, butter, yogurt, and ice cream. This also goes into container garden. Building a slab. Solar, which we're talking about energy, what I was talking about with the energy. If you have solar panels on your house and you're selling that electricity back, electricity goes back to the power grid. Not enough to reduce your electric. I would want a battery storage system for you to store the electric. Once you reach your capacity, you can sell it back. If you have energy, if for any reason your power goes out with the solar panel, you have battery backup. You could run your house off of it. And we also look into alternative having a generator, gas, or some kind of, like I said, solar. The better where you could, or your power goes out, you could uh, at least get your refrigerator running and stuff like that, and have the system where you have a second switch where you can plug the generator in and turn up your electric and have it powered through the generator. All right. Hydroelectric energy. Make paper. Buying books. Plant a rooftop garden. We're not doing that. Dip candles. Make herbal tea. Prepare for a natural disaster. Alternative address with message for an urban manicure. Knit hat. Keep chicken. Use sheep with wool. Will make and compare a composting toilet or something. We would not do that. Brew beer. We will not be doing that. But this is homestead, and we'll be talking about this in the weeks ahead. We'll talk about birdhouse. We'll be making birdhouse, decorative ones and ones for the birds to occupy. Okay, we'll talk about snow removal, stuff like that. There's all different types of birdhouse, bird feeders, stuff like that. I have them, as you can see. Okay. I want to show you something here. Talk about making small stables, stuff like that. On the suburban, thinking you won't have that, but on a farm you can have that. On a few acres of land you can have it. We'll talk about poultry house. If you can have chicken, have a few chickens or whatever, how to protect the chicken. Chicken and duck. Okay? What you can have. Fence, gate, pen, stuff like that. Which we will be doing, making a pergola, a trellis, and an arbor in the yard. Why this page won't turn? We got two pages together here, I believe. If we move to a farm, this is what I'll be doing on the farm. I'll be making a raised bed and stuff like that, but looking to making uh, pens, gates, fences, stuff like that. That's what we'll be doing. See that? Okay? This is what we're talking about tonight in the chat. Gates and fences you can make simple. We're going to do this for our raised beds with the gate around the raised bed. Show how to get pallets and stuff like that. Where to look for pallets and stuff. How to make simple gates. Okay? Roll away. Very easy to do. Here we won't. We'll do this on a smaller scale with the pond, but also basic bridges. Basic bridges. I would be doing all this on a farm if I had a farm. And things, if they're going the way they are going right now, and things get too expensive down here, we'd either be moving upstate, up north, to another state, either up further or down, and have a farm. Simple bridges. Okay? See that? We'll be looking into all that. Tool shed, stuff like that. Going forward, we'll be fixing our shed up, fixing our garage up, and everything else. Tool sheds and workshops. Tool shed workshops. We'll show you what we have, and we'll talk about sheds and work. Making our garage workshop where we can make stuff. If we do decide to move, will we make it out of pallet, and I would sell them. Where we would be making stuff. I would raise chickens. I would have pigs. I would have pets. And if push comes to shove, I need them for meat, and it's up to us or the animals. It would be us. We would try to eat a lot more organic stuff, less meat, and have portion meals, stuff like that. That's what we're talking about. And this is the type of shed and stuff that I would build right here. You see that one? That one down there? That one right there. This one right here. That's the type that I would have built or would have a big garage. Have a container on one. We have Mount Sparrow. Welcome, Sparrow. So as the weather gets warmer, get out our shed. We'll be fixing up our shed, cleaning it out, and having that as a tool shed, work area, everything I have two sheds on the property. I'll show you one will be for grass stuff, stuff that I use in front of the house, and I'll have stuff in the back of the house as well. There's all sorts of stuff. And even a smokehouse. So we can look into that. All right. Smoking meat, fish, stuff like that. We'll talk about that, tell you what we can have on the property and everything else. And I will let talk about it. And I still have the urge to talk. I will get something to drink. All right. All sorts of houses. So, a root house where you can store stuff. Look into storing stuff in the shed, putting electric in the shed, stuff like that, which I have in the one shed. Look into putting a refrigerator in that shed, maybe a freezer where we'd have stuff frozen in there. All sorts of stuff. Treehouse, stuff like that. Treehouse. We're not going to do all of this year, but we're going to show you what we can do on this property. Make it nice. Talked about gates, arbors, trellises. Simple bush houses. Twigs or stuff like that. See that? Okay. Making a trellis. Have the wood pallet and an arbor. You see that? The arbor. We'll talk about making that as well. This all has to do, do with homesteading and stuff like that. That's basically what we're talking about. Whether is what you're telling what we're going to go into. Part five, talking about energy. Say a windmill. The basic form of energy is that a generator, solar power, and having a backup to that generator because you're not always going to have solar. And that's why I believe solar is not that secure. It's not enough to power an entire house. As a supplement, yes, obviously it works. But if you're selling the power back, the power could produce your electric allegedly, that's fine, then, but by having you have a battery backup system with the solar, that's the best allegedly thing to do. This is the best system to have a battery backup to the solar. Okay, that's it. See that? That's what we're looking to do on a house if you're doing if you have. There's all sorts of stuff in this book. And having the solar panels, we have Squirrel chat. Good evening, Squirrel. Welcome to the chat. Solar panels on the roof, as long as you can have a battery backup to the solar panels. That's what I would look into. Sell the power back. As long as you can back up that power goes out, grid goes down, turn off the power, your solar panel power your house. You have enough solar panel sunlight for the day, and at night you have to be a electric miser and cut back the electricity at night, and then you have to figure out what necessities you need and cut back on it because excuse me, you don't have the power. She's saying hi to Squirrel. That's what the man cave is all about. I'm Garden Fun. See, talking about solar heat. Okay, we have solar panels. We're going to look into all of them this summer, step by step. Oh, so we're looking at all that. Talk about solar energy, greenhouse, stuff like that, which we have on the property, we may make bigger this year. See that? So can we put a small windmill on the property? He says hi to Sparrow, and then we have Lewis Fuller in the chat. Welcome, Lewis. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. What we're getting into as it goes. Look into the pros and cons of everything, what you can have on your property. That depends on where you live. And even then, talk about inside how to make a little generator of your own. She's saying hi to Lewis as well. Thank you, Lewis, for the like. If you haven't given a like, give a like. Okay? So we'll go into all this. You have to find out what you can have on your property, what you can have. Make sure you get, or you could have both wind and solar together. If you can have that. You see that? This one right here. Can you have that? And it also goes back to when we allegedly go upstate, get the property upstate, or go down south, get a farm, get 10 acres of land, get 5 acres of land, whatever we're going to get, we're going to strategically put. I gave you a like on this end. Thank you. We're going to plan out the property. We're going to see what we're going to put on. We could get an acre of land with the house on it. We could get a farm. We've got to see what we have on the farm. If we have a stable, if we have a barn, what we have, we're going to put what we're going to put on the property. We could get just a flat piece of land, and then you have to think about that. She said, I have mostly solar panels on my van. You're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah, but when it's not sunny out, you have solar panels powering your house all the time. When it's sunny out, it's fine and it generates enough sun. But when the sun doesn't shine at night, you have enough of solar energy to power the house through the night. You've got to look at. So what we're going to do is look at the property that we get. There's all sorts of stuff to do. Look into all of it. Now, if we buy a piece of property, okay, there are 5 to 10 things you have to look for. You're buying an established piece of property. You're buying, say, a farm. and that farm will go for, let's say, a 10-acre or 20-acre piece of land. Yeah, it won't charge well on gray days. So do you have a battery backup for that? That stores power or a separate generator that you can run alternative. That's what you got to look into. You got to have backup upon backup. If you go to How to with Doc, he explains all that. When we get into that, the generator and everything else, talk about a property, looking at property update. There are 5 things you have to look for. Okay, you buy again a established property or a you have hydropower. You can. We'll go into all this stuff. And I want to get more information on it as we go. I have a battery and propane heater and stove. Okay. And girl says hi to Lewis Fuller. All right. So then you're pretty well covered. So now that goes to uh, what we're covering. And when you buy a piece of property, okay, you're going to buy a piece of property, flat land. You have to talk about access to that property. Access means the road to the house or to the barn, whatever you have on the property. Or if you don't have anything on the property, you're going to build a foundation, put a house on that foundation. Or you would get a plot of land, and that plot of land, you would have to get an access road. What would it cost to build an access road? Are you going to put gravel down? Are you going to put asphalt down? Are you going to put bricks? How far are you going to have the house into the property? Are you going to look for a property with a house on it with an access road to the property? Don't forget you're in a you have a lot of rain. Is that access road going to wash away? Dirt road, is it going to wash out? Is it going to get muddy? Is the gravel going to wash out? How you have that access to the road, to that house, to that piece of property. Then you have to have access to the barn. You have to have access to the uh, aviary or the chicken coop, the stable, your shed, whatever you're going to put on the property. So when you buy a flat land, just a plot of land, say 5, 10 acres of land, plot out your land, okay? Before you buy it, find out what the land is, and imagine to yourself, okay, I'm going to put the barn over here, I'm going to put the house here, so far off the road. What will it cost me to put the house and the foundation on out? Get a prefab house. Now you have to get the foundation of footing set to code. You have to get your utilities. If you're going to have a compost toilet, uh, if you're going to have storage or a cesspool, septic tank, how you're hooking up your septic to the system, uh, your water access, pump, well, stuff like that. Okay, so that's your foundation, your cesspool, your water, access, and then you're putting the house on the property. So that's four things. So your access road to the house, to the property, and to all your things on the property. Your well water, well pump to the house, your septic system, whether it be a septic tank, cesspool, whatever, according to code, right? And now you're putting the house on the foundation, your power source. You're gonna be on grid, off grid, or have grid and off grid service, and you put solar panels on your property. Where you put the solar panels on your property? Are you going to have full access? Can you have a generator on your property? Gas or propane on the property so that power does go out. You can go to solar, and then when that goes, you can go to gas or propane, whatever you have. And then you have to look at phone. Uh, this works great down here. Do you have a satellite for this Wi-Fi, 5G access to whatever, to uh, Starlink or something like that, so that you have Wi-Fi access? Or you're going to have a phone, a landline on the property? If the power goes down, your power goes out from you need an emergency phone line. You're going to have a satellite phone or Starlink, so that I got to fix it. I can't. I'm sorry. Getting uncomfortable. Starlink, stuff like that. Girl said, "No, I will be live time on Friday." Okay, girl. I'll probably be uh, live about 9 o'clock Friday till about 10, just for about an hour. Go over some stuff, new stuff that's coming out. We'll talk about ChatGPT and what we're doing and stuff like that. And then I'll tell people to go over to your chat, watch for Squirrel live on Friday. So you'll have all that access, and we have Jesse in the chat. That's what you have to look for to buy a flat piece of land. Just buy it flat. Now you have to put your stuff on it. If you buy anything, now what we're looking to do is put some on the property too. Maybe make one a chicken coop. If it has a chicken coop on the property, what can we make our own chicken coop? Stuff like that. We're looking into doing that. Say within the first we gotta get in there. We'll talk about that too, managing your laptop and stuff. Boring on the live stream. You're not boring. You have a ton of people on your live stream. I found last last weekend it was hilarious on the live stream. So I'll probably join you and see. So you have to look at all those aspects. Now, say you buy a piece of property, where you go is the property is that you buy a house, a barn, you have maybe you have a chicken coop, you have a trailer on the property, you have a shed on the property, you may have a chicken coop on the property, you have garden, stuff like that. What shape is that in? You're buying a piece of property. Is the house in good shape? Could you fix up the house and live in that house? Now you have to figure at least read. You're doing it yourself or get a contractor whatever, uh, allegedly a reputable contractor, what you have to look into is the time frame to build something on a plot of land, whether it be a barn, going to put a trailer. Now, can you put a trailer on the property? Are you going to put the trailer on a slab because you don't want it to get rusty, fall apart? Are you going to raise it so that if water does rain, the water runs off, and you keep the trailer above water? I'm looking into that. Maybe have a trailer where we can put all our farm equipment, our tractor, our garden, fertilizer, stuff like that. Keep it dry. Have a garage, a separate garage, a steel building on the property. Steel buildings are very, very cheap. You could look at the end of the season or when they go on sale and have a steel building put on your property. Have a slab put down, have a steel building, and you have all that stuff in there. You have a pond, a stable. You want to keep horses, uh, pigs, goats, ducks, peacocks, whatever. Have an outdoor area. Predator. When you buy a piece of property, you have to look at that and say, okay, I want to do this. Oh, good, there's a chicken coop on it. What shape is the chicken coop in? Are you going to have to rebuild it? Are you going to have to uh, fix it up? What's that going to cost you? What shape is the barn? If you just need the paint job, you have to replace the wood, replace the roof, do the stable over. Look into all that. Uh, you're going to have a garden. You're going to have a compost. You're going to have chickens. Where you want to clean the chicken, you use that stuff to make compost and stuff like that. You have to take all this into consideration. You could buy a distressed piece of property, but then you've got to fix that up. You have to redo that house. Is it worth it fixing up the house, knocking it down and putting a new house on that foundation, expanding on that? You have to look into all that. Great, you're going to buy the property for $100,000, $200,000. You got the property. There's nothing on the property. You're going to spend at least $500,000 to $600,000 allegedly for that property. Depends on where you go. You have to look into that. You're going to have a lump sum of money together to do something like that. So we would have a sale of my son and daughter-in-law property, and our property, so that pool our money together. Now, when we buy the property, we're ready to move, buy the property, ready to move onto the property, where we're going to live on the property, where we're going to live until our property is ready for us to live. Is there a house on it? We can live in the house, fix it up within a couple of months, and then sell the house, and then get a mortgage with my son, get a mortgage and stuff like that, whatever. But that's what we have the money. We would be up there, living there. We're in the process of selling our house and fix up that house, and then make it livable so that we have our own section. My daughter has her own section, and they have their own section. We may eat together, but we have private living quarters. Or maybe 3 houses on the property that can be connected together. We have to figure all that out. I have a plan in my head where we have a big house in the middle, where my son and daughter live. Okay. Inside the house, we would have our little house with my wife and I, 2 bedrooms, master suite, bedroom, uh, kitchen area, a big. Have one big kitchen where we could have guests over and stuff like that. Have a separate house for my daughter, or have one big house. Beside that house, we would have our house, where it's 2 or 3 bedrooms, whatever. Because I want a studio like I have here, a library, stuff like that. Go, my wife can go to bed, have living room, dining room, whatever, and at least 2 bathrooms in the house. Okay, and then my daughter would have our house, or our house like this. All right, my son and daughter-in-law would have the big house. This would be the front. This would be the front of the house. Okay, right here. Our house would be over here, behind it, like that. Okay, and where my thumb is, would be my daughter's. That would go into the property back. My daughter would have like 1 bedroom, maybe two rooms, like a living area, whatever, bathroom, stuff like that, little kitchenette for herself, and a bathroom, shower, whatever. And you should have access to our house, not access to my son and daughter-in-law's house. We'd have one entrance where we can lock it at night, and they would have their privacy. We would have our privacy when they run it, and we would have our own, and my daughter would have her own. And then we'd have another little uh, shed on the property, or a tiny house with a couple of rooms where we'd have guests stay. Same thing, a kitchenette, bathroom, so on and so forth. But then that's all talking about plumbing and stuff like that. And then you would have your barn in the backyard. You would have your chicken coop somewhere. Then you, being upstate, being in the woods, whatever you got, make it competitive. So with all the house, building the house, getting the plans for the house, uh, septic, electric, generator wise, off grid, on grid, house built, and then after that, what and what can you put on that property? What are the codes for that county? What are the codes for that town, city, or area you're going to? You have to look into all of that. I'm going to set up a bid for, like, say, 10 acres of land, maybe more. Where we have a barn in the back, we have a steel building close to the house. The house would be off the road, at least, I would say maybe 10, 15 feet from the road that you would drive up to the house. I would love to get an access road already on the property. If we have to get an access road built, that's an expense. So again, it's the property, the access to the property, building on the property, what you can build on the property, what you have on the property, what you can do with the property. It's you buy a new house, the house is there, you're buying a house, you're buying land, you have to put the house on it, you have to get that. Are you gonna have an active toilet that you flush? Are you gonna have a compost toilet? Are you gonna have a septic area? What's the septic rules? How far a septic tank have to be from the house? How often do you have to clean the septic tank out? Well, with the state is in the Hudson Valley, either Cherry Valley, New York, Cairo, Round Top, Durham, uh, East Durham, Accra, uh, Greene County region, Round Top area. That's all within the town of Cairo, that area. And then, of course, between that is Cherry Valley. My daughter-in-law father has a house there in Cherry Valley. I think it's been vacant for a while, so we don't know the condition of it. When we go up there this year, we may take a ride to it and see how it is. We talk about maybe getting that. So that would be great. Then we fix up the house. Do we have enough money? Can we get a loan on our house and everything, on one of our houses, and fix that house up? And then when we get that house fixed up, we sell the house down here and we pay off the loan. We sell the other house, do the other work on the property. We got to crunch the numbers and all that stuff and everything else. Be a lot. And like I said, it would be a good little willing. And God knows if I'm going to be here. I'm in my 70s, and God knows if we're going to be able to drive and everything else. So that, that's all on the thing. We have to see what here, there, whatever. So we're talking about that. We're going to see, we're going to do as much homesteading as we can do this year on this property. Making a new garden area, making a greenhouse more efficient, and then planting all the stuff that I can. Have a harvest and stuff like that. And once we get that established, I want to be able to sell the eggs. Now, I want to be able also to have a farm stand up there. Now, if we make this a business or just sell to the neighbors, stuff like that, when we do that, we may not be able to we have my son and daughter-in-law would have to work for a while, but we establish a farm stand and make money off that. Sell the eggs, sell milk, whatever we get. We would sell the produce, fruits and vegetables that we raised on the property. Sell seeds, sell fertilizer, stuff like that we make in general. We just sell manure and stuff like that. So, compost for people. We have to look at all the things about raising chickens, what to do, what to look for, what not. So it's like, and I have, good Lord willing, I hope to be here for a while. So good Lord willing, but we don't know what happens. So I would say within the next 2 or 3 years, uh, by 2020, excuse me, good Lord willing, we're still here, which you never know. Tomorrow's never promised. Like was said, we can plan for that and hopefully get those plans. Good Lord willing, be here for that and have a few years on the farm at least 5, maybe 10 years. I hope to be here in my 80s, 90s, or better. But I don't want to be a burden to my family. So that's it. Like I said, I'm pretty healthy. I want to get my sugars in check. I want to get things, exercise, and I believe on the farm we're doing that. But we have to also look into the weather situation. Can we maintain a farm with 6 feet of snow, 20 feet of snow, 24 feet of snow? Have bad winters. We'll see. Because we know going upstate, we're going to have bad winters. We have to see what it's like. But if we have established piece of property, we can plow. Can we close the gate, go off grid, and survive winter by plowing and the thing and being on the farm and producing stuff and having people come for eggs, have a farm stand, and can we generate enough money to keep ourselves going for say 3 or 4 months in the winter? Or do we have to have a job besides that? So we have to pull all our money together. We're also looking to raising peacocks. Peacock sell. So we can find a buyer for a peacock, raise the peacock, and sell the peacock eggs, stuff like that. Raise turkey, uh, chicken, where we would have uh, chicken raised for eggs, and we would have chickens that we would raise for meat. If it comes to that, if it comes to survival, it would be us versus the animal. But we would have animal pets as well on the property. So we have a half hour to go. I think I've talked myself to death. I will be going over all this stuff as we progress. I'm going to make a drawing of, say, a share property. What if there is one on here? I don't want 40 acres. I can't manage 40 acres. I would say maybe 10, 15 acres, 6 acres. Let me see. Property. One of these books has a homestead on the property, and that's what I want to. I want to build. Let's see. What I do want is a house like this shows the landscape house. I do want to get a piece of property with a house with a porch on the word and put a swing on it or a few chairs and stuff like that. Here we go. Of a house like that. On the property. See it? Like that. All right, that's what I would love. A nice house. Like that. Good or willing, we'll see if we get it. So we got the hour. So in tonight, we'll be back tomorrow night around 9 o'clock till about 10:30 again. Maybe come in a little earlier, go 8:30 to 10. We'll see. But it'll only be an hour, hour and a half. Tops. So we're going to end the chat here. And we'll be back tomorrow. Next week we'll be on uh, till 11, 12, 11, 11:30 next week because we're getting back into our swing of things. Hopefully, we'll see where our watch hours are and stuff like that, and get there. Pray for Squirrel that he gets his monetization. Pray for Jesse M. Pray for Mount Sparrow. Pray for Lewis Fuller. Pray for Marlene with her surgery and stuff. Thank Anton. Thank Austin. Uh, thank the other people that came into the chat, Clavin, stuff like that. Thank you, Louis. Well, Bullet, for coming into the chat. I will see you all tomorrow night, live from Ring Light, not on this format, just on the vertical feed. And I will see you on Saturday with What's Up Saturday. Tomorrow night, for the Ring Light, an hour, hour and a half. That's it. I will see you all tomorrow night. Remember, the past is behind us. The present is now. The future is what you make it. So let's make 2000 2026 better than 2025. Pray for Judy May Collins. She makes a full recovery. Pray that everything goes well with Grandma Lynn, her doctor visits and stuff like that, that everything is okay. She gets through it. Pray for my family. I'll be praying for your family and everybody on YouTube, including Mount Sparrow and everybody in the chat and everybody in my YouTube family that needs prayers. Sharon, Connections with Life and Interest, Joseph Tropical Tank. All of you. Thank you for helping me get to where I am, getting closer and closer to monetization. We want to get Squirrel monetized this year. So, or get his 3,000 watch hours in YPP and then get his 4,000. We don't want to see him leave. Till next time, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video. Like it, share it. Let me know. Okay? What you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for coming into the chat. And I will see you in the next one. Like and follow. I'll see you all in the next video. Till next time, Stephen F. saying Good night to all of you. God bless you. Prayers for everybody in the chat. I will see you tomorrow night. Len Stephen saying good night and God bless you. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. We'll be on till at least 11 starting Monday. We'll be on Sunday at 8, probably till 10 o'clock on Sunday. We'll see. Till then, Stephen F. saying so long. Good night and God bless you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to look for tomorrow night, A View from the Ring Light. Good night.